Hello, sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to yet another of these things. I am just on fire with them these days. It's funny, I made an offhand comment last time when I did Nemesis, and I was talking about Konami Game Boy games and how I could do Operation C in my sleep. Well, here we fucking are. Not exactly done in my sleep because I wanted to add a little extra bit of challenge to the game, and so I present to you Operation C, a no death clear, low percent. What does low percent mean? It means I don't get any of those fancy guns. I just use the basic gun that comes with the start of the game, which took me a bit to get. I had to rewire my brain in certain parts to figure out, oh, how am I getting past this? But it didn't take me too much hassle, and so I'm going to present it to you. And originally I was like, oh, I'm better, just like I did with Gradius 2. I'll get the SNES out of the basement, plug in the Super Game Boy and my Game Boy cartridge of Operation C, and then I remembered, alright, this thing exists. The Konami Contra Anniversary Collection, where you can just save the replay, so I can just play it on that. And, you know, it automatically records for me. All I gotta do is hit a button, and everything I play is saved. So here it is. Operation C. A fun little Contra game. I do not remember which Contra you're playing as, blue Contra or red Contra. And I couldn't tell you the part. Spread gun to my head. I couldn't tell you which one's which. I guess I have a 50-50 shot of living, but... But yeah, this is a Contra game I had as a child. There's a funny story behind that. There's nothing really happening in level 1 yet. I will note that the gun you start with is basically the machine gun. It fires rather fast and it's quite powerful, but it has a lower range compared to other weapons, and this is particularly true in the top-down segments, because Powerups is taking cues from both Contra and Super C on Nintendo. There's side-scrolling top-down segments. But the fun story about me getting this game was, it was the holiday season, Christmas. And, I was a child in school, and we were going on Christmas break, and I wanted to play some games on the new Super Nintendo. I want to say this was 1997. Yes, I was a bit behind. So, I wanted to play some Super Nintendo stuff, but the only real Super Nintendo game I had was Donkey Kong Country, so I made a trade with a friend over the holidays. In exchange for my Game Boy and some games, they let me, I don't know if it was some Super Nintendo games or just one. I remember specifically Star Fox was in it. So I was spending my Christmas break playing Star Fox, and that was really cool. And then my family found out, you lent your Game Boy or out over Christmas? Well, they didn't object, like, how dare you lend out your property? It was more of a, oh, you probably shouldn't have done that. Why would Santa Claus give you a new Game Boy game? I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Do you know why they said that, Chad? It's because it happened Christmas morning. I have 2 new Game Boy games on my lap. One of them I still have, Operation C, this game. The other, well, this boss I'm gonna shred, by the way. This is like almost speedrun strats. Just dismantling this thing as fast as I possibly can. This is yeah, Christmas morning, woke up to 2 Game Boy games. One of them was Operation C, which I still have with me. Fun little Contra game. Very difficult at first for me, but, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, it's on the Game Boy, I kept playing it, and I eventually learned it, just naturally. I don't know how long it took, but also I love that, the sound of the footsteps, by the way. The other game, and this is a rather tragic story, I had it for many years. It was a really fun game. I liked it. Then I lent it to a friend, and at one point, right around the time I went to college, my friend was like, hey, you know, my little sister really likes this Game Boy game. Can you mind, can I just have it? Can we just have it for her? And you know, I, being a college student who didn't see much use for the Game Boy anymore, I was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. It'll go to a good home, it'll be well played, blah, blah, blah. That game, friends, is Kid Dracula on the Game Boy, which is now worth several $100s. And I don't mean every video game is worth 3 times what it was thanks to the retro game bubble and the hell world inflation. I mean, even before all that, it was a $100 video game. So, whoopsie! I really hope that that child enjoyed their rare as fuck Game Boy game. And I wonder if it's still sitting in a drawer somewhere in that home, or, you know, whatever. The child got good use out of the Game Boy game. I got good use out of the Game Boy game. It doesn't matter. I am hoarding all sorts of collectibles here. I'm sitting on an Earthbound and Chrono Trigger SNES card that my pal Stella sold to me at discount. I think I'm gonna live, okay? All this is to say that we've been dismantling Stage 2, and I really like Stage 2. It's fun. I have always loved these little strats like that thing hugging up against the turrets. Just good shit. Good shit all around. Good top-down level. And we're at its boss. They do this next level. Very simple. Well, I use the homing gun in this game if I play it casually, because it's my favorite gun, and I like to turn around and shoot the door from behind, because homing gun is still behind you and stuff. Anyway, boss is just, hey, remember those tanks you've been dismantling? Do 2 at once, then shoot this thing, shoot one of those. What do you want me to say? Up until this point, the game is free. Now, level 3 is where I had troubles with this approach, because it's a side-scroller, but it's also based on the waterfall level in original Contra, and you know, they have some vertical levels in Super C as well. Yeah. It definitely has that mix of Contra and Super C, but that means that some of the verticality of this level is just a little bit too. Figure out my positioning, where to shoot to not die, because I can only shoot in 8 directions, as opposed to, you know, here's a big fucking spread, filling half the screen with bullets. Bonk, bonk, bonk. I'm good at games. Yeah, just a little bit. It's nothing too, like, frustrating, nothing like, oh my god, I hate this game, I've been playing it for 2 weeks, can I please die? Well, I don't want to die. Can the game please die? Oh, god. Coming on the first section now. You gotta deal with the turrets, and you gotta deal with these fellas who can shoot. So I take it slow, and just go one at a time, and figure out how you're going. They can only shoot, you know, diagonal or straight down. Well, they can shoot straight forward too, but you're not gonna go that high up. You don't have to. Not really. I mean, if I went high up enough for that guy would be a hassle to me. So I just try and scroll them on the screen, and then get them in such a way where I can get a diagonal shot forward. Sometimes you have to get closer to them so they shoot it down, so you can go back and get to a diagonal. Sometimes you get them like this and do the opposite, where you make it shoot diagonal, and then you get in there before they shoot downward. And so like this, get in there before it shoots at you. Just take advantage of their slow fire rate. And this is only the mid of Stage 3. I think. I looked at the timer while I was recording this on the Switch, and I think Stage 3 might be the length of Stages 1 and 2 combined. It's a chunky one. And I make it a little harder by doing these somersaults over these running guys, these goddamn robo linebackers. 23-3. Hut, 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 hut. And here's a mini-boss. The only mini-boss in the game, exactly. Well, I gotta show you this. And that was our mini-boss. You could probably get some troublesome stuff with it, shooting those mines that run along the ground, but honestly, you just park yourself under it and it dies in 2 seconds. And that is with the base gun. If you have something else, it'll melt in just as much time. Sure. Now we're actually at a waterfall part of the waterfall-inspired Contra level. More verticality, more tricky angles in dealing with shooting. And now it's taking up less screen real estate. You've only got about 80% of the screen to work with because of the waterfall. Ooh, they made it harder. Okay. And yeah, here's a good example of let it shoot and then take it down to a slow fire way to get in. You get them in 2 cycles. This is not a speed run. Oh, this is a little bit. Ooh, that one was a little bit daring today, aren't we? A daring Contra player. Goodness me. Well, yeah, spice it up. I've spiced it up by doing this low percent run, and even then, as I said, I know this game like the back of my fucking hand. After I got back my Game Boy from Christmas break, this jump is always... It's what my pal Blaze Fury would call a butt clencher. This is a really tight jump. Woo! So here's the boss. You can dismantle this in seconds with a weapon. You can dismantle it in seconds plus 2 with a regular gun. Watch out for the noodle rounds. I just pop these turrets on. And on this phase, it shoots bubbles. If you leave it alive enough, it'll rejoin with this thing hovering and move back and forth a bit. But you can kill it for that. So. Alright, time for our second top-down level. And this one, you really do wish, oh god, I wish I had a spread shot or something. It would make things so much easier. So you have to deal with these wood lice, which spit out homing shots eventually. And then there's these spider bots. Spit out from spiders. And you know, if you had a spread gun, maybe that was a spread gun. I honestly don't fucking remember where the power-ups are. I just skip homing on most of those. But if you had the power-up, you could deal with that shit. If not, well, we gotta have this delicate little dance where we try to get them quickly before they sneak into a blind spot and overwhelm us. So, we'll deal with that. And deal with the little creepy crawlies. There's the homie shot. It's just careful aiming and making sure you don't get overwhelmed and snuck up on by these creepy crawlies. Then we move into the second half of the level, which introduces these things that jut out of the walls. So keep an eye out for those. If you're on the same level as them, they don't shoot out. So you just sort of sneak in there while they're retracting. And also, it's got to deal with the hordes of bugs. They're spawning. Yeah. If they're close enough to the edge of the screen, the homing shots don't spawn. They clearly stop and spit it out, but it's like beyond the boundaries of the screen, so whatever. Ooh, that one got kind of close to me. For the final section here, we start doing these little pairs. So you just move up to make one stop moving and then go to the other side. Take it safe like this. And now for the boss, which is really not that hard even with no gun at all. Just you shoot it in the face, and you shoot this gross shit that it spits out, and you move with it so that its ass laser doesn't, shoot you. It actually gets easier and speeds up, because even though it shoots more, this homing shit, it doesn't shoot the half-life spread before. When you're coming at it from the diagonal there as it's moving, you're not at risk of getting chipped by one of those things. But we're on the final level now. It's sort of like Super C level 4, I want to say. Maybe 4. Yes, it's definitely 4. It has been a hot minute since I played Super C. So these stupid turrets, you can either be safe and just jump up and shoot like that, you can rush in and get them. And then we've got pods. Pods have these fake ogres in it that breaks open and something tries to get you. How the fuck did I not get killed by that? I want to know. You go back and look at that footage. That bullet hit the ground the frame before I did. I swear to God. How the fuck is this a run? That should have killed me. That honestly should have killed me. If the game says it didn't, I'm gonna take it. So again, just like Space 3, we have brief side-scrolling segments projected by some verticality. And it's dangerous verticality. We got these turret guys, and we've got these stupid facehuggers bursting out of these tanks at odd angles while you're on these platforms. So watch out for that. Can't shoot this guy. It's very weird. It's like hitting his feet, but not his feet. Odd shit. Odd shit. So throw a little curveball at you. Have you noticed how the facehugger's facing away from you have popped? Well, not here. Now they have some surprise ones. Oh, that one was facing the other way, but it popped. Oh, it teaches you a pattern, and it's like, psych! You should have been more attentive. You doofus. Okay, again, how the fuck did I not die there? Really? So we're gonna play safe for this turret because there is one immediately behind it in range, and if you're standing under it, I think you have very little leeway to not get, yeah, in fact, no leeway to stand under the shots. Okay, this part is annoying as piss, and I remember as a child it stymieing many attempts to beat the game and had to be learned thoroughly, but I've learned it, and I've learned it so much that I can do it with this basic bitch-ass gun. So you've got the pods breaking open, you got guys coming in with things, and you got this shit which you have to duck under, and you have to park yourself in just the right spot. There's a sweet little spot where the guys aren't coming at you, and they jump, and they sort of arc over you, and that's where you gotta be, sorta in the middle of the platform. The back half. The edge of the back half, let's say. And these goddamn enormous piss things breaking out of their test tubes to get you. It's a very busy segment. It's busy, but, you know, it's the last level. It can afford to be a little busy. Woo! That was close. Probably should be facing the other way there to get that stupid head, but just about done the other scroll part. This is one more of these doofuses, and ugh. That's not very fun to try and get with the basic gun, but one last stretch for the final boss, and at this point, this is the first attempt I've had to nail this far, so I'm playing it safe. I'm not rushing in like a fool. Two minutes. And then, which is bubbles. I remember there's a secret where, I don't know what one it was, I want to say it's the last one of these bubble spawners where you just sit there and you shoot the bubbles for like 30 seconds, or a minute or whatever. It gives you a spread gun for the final boss. But we don't need that shit. Oh, I forgot to mention that waterfall, the butt clencher jump, there's another secret where if you wait like 60 seconds it makes the bridge, but we ain't doing that shit. We're risking the entire run on a jump, yay! I never once bunged up that jump in my recording attempts. A couple of de-rust attempts got it. Anyway, this is a robot, shoots missiles when it's facing the one way, it shoots 4 in a row when it's facing the other way. The second missile is going to be at the back edge where you're supposed to be, and then it shoots these robot arms after facing each edge, and that's the pattern. That is all the complexity of this boss. Just memorize those 3 things, keep shooting it, and you win. Except you don't win yet. There's one final segment, and it has killed me before. Not in recording. In casual play, this thing has killed me. Oh, this is... yeah. Just taking it carefully. Edging as close as I dare. Then I would hate to be a speedrunner having to do this shit fast. I could do it. This is the last thing that can actually kill you in the game, and we won. Because I don't know who the fuck this is. Whatever. I think it's like Black Falcon, Red Viper, Cobalt, Velvet, whoever the fuck it is brain in a jar like Mother Brain. And that, good friends, is Operation C. Cleared without any damage, without any spread gun, or homing gun, or fire gun. Just the basic bitch-ass machine gun this fucker started the game with. Let's go. So yeah, that is a childhood favorite. Very nice. A little late in the Game Boy run for me to get in 1997. I imagine it's very strange. Family to get two Game Boy games like that. It must have been that they went to a store and it's like, oh, here's these old Game Boy games that nobody wanted. Two for $0.25 or something. Not that my parents were cheapskates. I mean, they bought me the game system, so bless you, love you for getting me into this hobby. But yeah, I have to imagine that they pick these random games up at clearance. Like, let's look at the. I'm thinking of the Game Boy games I had as a child pre-Pokemon. It's like I got the Game Boy with Jurassic Park because that was 1993. Every fucking masculine child in 1993 got Jurassic Park shit on their birthday and Christmas, whatever. Then I had the Power Rangers Game Boy game. I had these two, and at some point I got Super Mario Land. The I would borrow other games like Mario Land 2 and Wario Land and Donkey Kong 94. And I can't really think of anything else I had as a child until Pokemon came around. I was like, oh shit, dust this fucker off. This is lit. But Operation C, fine little contra game. I like it a lot, and I hope you enjoy it. And you should give it a try. It's a very, an idiot child got through it after much trial and error, and now that idiot child has grown up into a blue-haired idiot who did it under the maximum conditions possible. Anyway, whatever. So that is the end of the game. We're going to fade out. Eventually, I'm going to hit the start button, and we're going to see our final score, our final lives. There it is. And we're looping. That's a nice score. That's a nice score, don't you think? Wouldn't you say that's a neat little score? And that does it for this thing. Okay. So that's it. What do you expect next? I don't know. There's that second Gradius game on the Game Boy. I played a bunch of it. It's pretty good. I almost made it to the end. That was with deaths, but it could be fun. It's very cinematic and neat. I don't know. But thank you for watching this thing, and we'll be seeing you for whatever is next. Bye now.